on Zoom.
We have
today.
4 on Zoom?
So we have 4 friends coming in from Zoom that couldn't come in today. We're going to be able to keep running our Zoom. And we're going to continue to run our YouTube Live, which is over on my laptop right now. So thanks to everyone who has subscribed. If you have not subscribed to the 1 Million Cups Detroit Metro YouTube, please do that. Because you can go back and look at presentations. You can hear some of the advice that was offered here and maybe even present yourself. All right, how are we feeling? We're ready? We're ready to get started? All right. First of all, if you have been to 1 Million Cups before, can you please raise your hands? All right, welcome back, family. It always feels so good to see you guys here. Right? It feels so good to have you here and for us too, to all be here together. I have one of our organizers. Organizers, can you raise your hand if you're an organizer in the room? Thank you. And the organizer is up front here, David, and he just mentioned to me something so core, which probably you guys know, is that I'm just emotionally invested in being here. Like, I just really love it. There's a whole magic that happens here, and I think that's why you guys keep coming back, right? So who in the room has never been to 1 Million Cups before? Can you raise your hands? And then hold your hands up, keep your hands up because we have a gift for you. A little gift for you, and we're welcoming to you. So know that we're very casual. But we are a business meeting at the same time. David, we have somebody up front too in the front chair, just when you get done passing those out. This is a gift from 1 Million Cups for you guys. Now, I have 2 more who's in the room questions, right? So who has presented their business before that's in the room? Hi, John. Hi, Deidre. See Erica back there. Curtis. Thanks. Anyone else? Past presenters? All right, cool. So it is easy to present here. We'd like you guys to present. When you present, you are not pitching your business. So for the new folks in the room, we don't have a pitching format here. We have a presentation format here, right? So the way the meeting's going to roll today is I'm Melissa Wilson. I'm your MC and volunteer with 1 Million Cups, which is the Kaufman Foundation. I'm going to introduce a little bit about what Kaufman is. Then we're going to introduce our coffee sponsor. So we do have someone that's here today that paid for all of your free cups of coffee, which will happen every single week. And she will get to come up here and pitch for 2 minutes. So if you want to be a coffee sponsor, you are welcome to do that. We have a list of preferred vendors. Drake Pfeiffer, who's somewhere in the room, he might be in the kitchen. He just put together a really fabulous list of not only the coffee sponsors that we've used, coffee companies we've used in the past, but exactly how much it costs. So if you want to go high end for our group, you can get that. If you want to go low end, what coffee shop, what donut shop you want to use, if you want to even get donuts. So we have a nice little organized thing we can send to you. And Drake's about to come into the kitchen. So Drake, thank you for that coffee list. That was awesome that you created. And so then the coffee sponsor will get to speak for just a couple minutes. You don't have to be a coffee shop, right, to sponsor coffee, which you'll see that today. And then I will bring up our current presenter. For today, we usually only have 1 presenter, but if you were here last week, you saw that we actually had 2. That happens sometimes because if you apply to present, you can kind of pick your own date. So sometimes if we're double booked, and then we'll reach out as an organizing committee to kind of move you to another date so that we can have just 1 presenter. You'll see today it's a lot easier and more casual, and we can offer support from the audience. All right, the next thing that's going to happen is once the presenter is up here today, she'll get about between 5 to 8 minutes. You know, she'll probably running 8 minutes today on her talk, and she's going to present her business. And what does that mean? Right? What does that mean? We're going to say, who is she? What has she done? And where is she stuck as a business owner? Where can she use help? So this is what 1 Million Cups is all about. It takes 1 million cups of coffee, right? Picking up on that, it takes 1 million cups of coffee to keep your business sustainable as an entrepreneur. And we want our community, people in this room, to be able to support each other. So she's going to have a community question for us. So listen closely for that as she does her presentation. And then once we support Lynn, we've now incorporated, thanks to our new round here in 2025, asking 2 closing questions to the presenter, which I'll ask that of her. And then we will invite up our community sponsor. Our community sponsor is Oakland Thrive. Daryl is a co-lead with me as a volunteer on our organizing committee. So raise your hand, Daryl. And then who else in the room is an Oakland Thrive, first of all, organizer, right? So I think Drake is, and Saidi, who's in a meeting, but she's in the back. She's also an organizer. Okay, who here is an Oakland Thrive business-to-business partner? Lynn, John, Tanisha. Oh, nice. All right. So these folks that come into the room here for presenters or for people who are just here, they are part of the Oakland Thrive team as a partner, and they will offer free services to you, just like Oakland Thrive offers free services to business owners. Okay, so keep that in mind. Gerald will introduce or talk about a few of them at the end. And then we wrap up at just a few minutes before 10 o'clock, and we will be asking you to gather together for a group photo. So Carmen, our fabulous Carmen over here, as part of our organizing committee, also works at Incubizo and is a professional photographer. We'll be taking a group photo. And we'll use the group photo in our LinkedIn just to say thanks for coming, and then also on our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is a thumbnail, right? Make sense? Okay, awesome. Well, we're going to get started, but I just realized there's one thing I missed. When you're invited to support the presenter with your community question for you, remember that you're not coming up and saying you should do this, you should do that. Right? I know you guys like when I say this, right? No should. We don't need. No one wants anyone shoulding all over them. When you come up here, you're going to be offering experiences. You know, I have an experience related to what you shared, and this is how it worked for me, or this is how it didn't work for me. Or I have a connection to you, or I would like to connect with you because I think I can help you. So let's connect after this. And when you say that on the microphone, you help our Zoom room to hear what the heck's going on because they can't see what I see. And then you help the presenter because they go back and review the YouTube live to help them, you know, understand what happened when they were up here drinking through the fire hose of questions, right? So offer experience, offer collaborations, offer resources, offer yourself. You cannot pitch when you come up on the microphone, but you can definitely help the presenter. That sound good? For all of you regulars, does that sound like what we do on the norms? Okay. Yes, great. Thank you for that validation. All right, so let's invite our coffee sponsor up here, Jennifer Moon. Come on up. Oh, you know what? I didn't do my part, did I, Daryl?
Did not.
First of all, presenters, we always want them. Organizers are wanted. Coffee sponsors are wanted. I'm just gonna run into a real quick, Jennifer. Oh no, you're gonna go next. And then we are booked for presenters all the way through March 12th. March 12th. It's some time to decide if we want to get up here and do this. And then we'll also be incorporating some past presenters to give us some updates over the next couple of months. All right? All right, come on up, Jennifer. Sorry to take your mic. All right, there you go.
Good morning. I am Jennifer Moon. I would like to take a moment and say thank you to Darren for the coffee. It is amazing, and thank you to Daryl for allowing me to sponsor the coffee this morning. I am Jennifer Moon. I'm a loan officer with CDC Small Business Finance. I'm a loan officer with CDC Small Business Finance. Who we are is we are an alternative lender. We are not predatory. We are SBA financed or backed. So CDC is a national SBA lender. We have the ability to lend from $5,000 to $350,000. Our interest rates currently are closing between 10.25 to 11.5%. And I can amortize your loan up to 10 years. We can support startup, including pre-revenue, existing businesses, and business acquisitions. It has to be for profit. The great thing about my loan program is we are not credit score driven, so there's no minimum or maximum credit score requirement. We do not require collateral, so any pre-existing personal or business assets, we will not secure. Additionally, there are no early payoff penalties associated with either of my loan products. Our funding, sometimes when you work with alternative lenders in the ecosystem, some lenders can't provide capital to support payroll, or they can't provide capital to support tenant improvements. Our funding is non-restricted and can cover anything to start, sustain, or scale your business operations. I have the flyers in the back. I know my time is limited. I can talk all day about this. I have brought flyers for both my programs. I am available for conversations or questions. In addition, the best way to reach me is by email. I've left several business cards in the coffee room, so I encourage anybody with questions or would like to follow up with an appointment or inquire about our loan products, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. The only thing I'm gonna say though, is if you do wanna come through CDC and get the best loan officer possible, you're gonna reach out to me because, not because I am the best, but because if you go directly to the website, okay, you're gonna get refer to an internal loan officer. And they do not advocate as strongly for your deals as an external myself would do, okay? Because we don't have that personal relationship. All I see is your online application. Whereas if you reach out to me, we develop a personal relationship. I support you through the life of the process, including if I can't give you funding. I never just deny you. I tell you what you need to do so you can strengthen your deal and come back to the table for a stronger approval chance. Thank you for your time and have a great day.
Yeah. You guys can be true, like, I'll take the money. You don't need collateral, I don't think you could do everything here, that was really great. So she does have flyers, the ones she's holding in her hand, back in the, coffee shop, and there's a coffee kitchen. And then there's a bunch of cards around here. All right, so let me see if I can. Okay, we go right to Lynn Drake. So we didn't put the slide in for all the presenters who are upcoming. Next week, we'll do that next week. So speaking of next week, and I don't mean to blow your mind before Lynn comes up, but speaking of next week, as much as we love this space and this room, and we're going to have to move across the street. So Incubizo is both of these two buildings. So we're going to be moving over to 1938 Burdette. We'll update that on our webpage. We'll update that with the Thrive event, but all you guys have heard it here first, right? And we'll put a sign on the window for all the guys who are not here. So, so I just want to make sure that you guys know that we're going to go across the street. Carmen's saying we're too big, right? So, and then we just on the main floor, you just go in like normal. There's a great kitchen across the street if you haven't been there. All the same rules apply. If you come to 1 million cups, you can stay in the workspace for the day. Just talk to Carmen or to Josh, and let them know. Talk to you, Carmen, yes. Yeah. Now, and then Lynn, I'm sorry to come with you 1 more minute of your time here, but make sure that you check in for our event. We have a QR code. We want you to check in with a QR code at the end or in the beginning. I see someone up at the wall at the QR code in the back right now. That really helps our community, 1 Million Cups National, to know who we have coming to our meetings and like make sure that we can show them that we are really gregarious and engaged community here. Okay, so just make sure you check in with the QR code, even if you come every week. I have to do it too as an organizer. It's hard for me to remember, but I have to do it too. So, and without further ado, let's have Lynn Drake come on up and do your presentation.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for allowing me this time to share with you a new business I have, and it is True North Publishing. And I'm going to be talking to you today about classes.
I can turn the slide.
Okay. Let's start with my stats. I own 2 companies. Compass Commercial started in 2017 and True North Publishing started in 2010. I have 15 years of work experience in corporate real estate, doing acquisitions for sites across North America. I have 20 years working as a commercial broker, doing transactions, and I've completed over 1,700 real estate transactions during my career. True North Publishing offers online classes which teaches agents how to do commercial real estate while earning continuing education credits from the state of Michigan, which are required for all real estate agents. Oh, no, sorry.
Yeah, there's more. Proof of demand.
Proof of demand. I was teaching free real estate classes online to business owners on how to do a transaction. When in 23-24, I noticed there was a surge in the number of people attending those courses. And the people happened to be residential agents and brand new commercial agents, which I thought was odd that it would suddenly surge. Then in 2024, apparently they were following the lawsuit. The National Association of Realtors lost a case having to pay out $1.8 million for fixing commission rates. And now a lot of the residential agents are in trouble because they don't have the opportunities to make the same money they could. So there started to be a surge in my classes because they knew it was coming and they needed some other way to make money. And then as far as the regulatory requirements, the state does mandate 6 hours. So the demand for classes that teach them how to do commercial real estate and they get their continuing education credits really surged. So once that surge happened and once I realized what was going on, I decided I could take these classes that I was already teaching, expand them for someone that's actually doing the transaction for a business owner, because the classes were written for business owners. So I started doing that, and I reached out and I found a company to host the classes. So my target audience is residential realtors or commercial agents that are new to the business. I'm also thinking about offering these classes to commercial brokerage firms, but I really don't know how to go about doing that at this point. So the classes are on demand. Right now, they're all video. We'll also be offering written classes. And the key benefits is that they fulfill the state of Michigan's continuing education requirements. And we teach site selection for office, industrial, and retail, leasing and purchasing. And once the agent takes the classes, it allows them to seamlessly transition from residential to commercial. Because most people don't realize the laws and the rules are not the same. Why we share a license, I have no idea. So what makes us different? We have class on industrial site acquisition, retail site acquisition, office site acquisition, and how to purchase commercial buildings. We're fulfilling the state of Michigan's requirements. And by the time that the agent is done watching all the classes, they should be trained in how to do commercial real estate. And if the agent gets into trouble, I'm also available for consulting on an hourly basis.
And just to be clear, you're not pitching right now, right?
I'm not pitching. No.
Not pitching.
I'm not pitching. You're telling me that's one of the things I can help them with if they have an issue.
Great.
Okay. So what have we tried so far? I have partnered with one of the largest resellers of continuing education classes to run these courses because I really don't have time to sit there and work with the state of Michigan, making sure everybody gets their credits, all that stuff. So I write the videos, they sell the videos. Marketing. I have identified another organization that works primarily with commercial agents, and they will be advertising our services through them. I have created a LinkedIn and Google marketing plan, and I have created a direct marketing campaign. I have about 1,000 agents in my database, so I'll be sending that to them. I'm exploring grant opportunities to redo my website, True North Publishing. I took it down a while ago. I applied for one grant and I did not get it. So I'm still looking for funding for that. And I'm looking for True North Publishing to be a passive income business. So the books I've sold on Amazon are passive income. I'm also a paid speaker.
The books are behind you.
And the books are behind you. Next one, please. Yeah. Lessons learned. Resellers. Once I get this first reseller up and going, and we should have been open by now, but of course we ran into some issues with technology. We just got those solved last week, so now we're ready to start uploading the courses. I want to have a national reseller as well, so I'll be looking for a national reseller or possibly other resellers here in this market. I need to reactivate the website for True North, like I just mentioned. I also have time constraints. This business is intended to be a passive income business, not a day-to-day business.
Let's just go back. See all the stuff she tried? See all the stuff she tried? Meant to be.
We got to get it ready.
You do.
And frankly, I got to tell you guys, I use AI for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Good.
When my classes were done, I put them through there to make sure they were okay. And I also did my advertising through there.
You ready?
Yep. So my biggest challenge, if you haven't figured it out, is how do I protect my intellectual property? Because it will be housed on different websites. So I want to make sure that I get credited for the sales that I generate. I'm looking at other options of selling the services. Would they be sold to brokerage firms as training? I think they could be, but again, it's not something I want to manage, so I'm looking for some ways to do that I don't have to manage. And then I'm also thinking maybe like there's a training website, an online program, perhaps going that way. I have no experience with any of these things, so I'm not really sure how they work. And then I'm looking for any other pathways or suggestions on my marketing. And that is it.
Excellent, well done.
And these are my questions.
Yeah, you just said it. You did them all. You did.
I didn't realize it would change.
So that's your connection, so say that to me. So that,
Oh, and my name is Lynn. I own True North Publishing, and this is my email address, and that's my phone number. Please connect with me on LinkedIn. Thank you.
all right. Hey, all right, who would like to start? Come on, Alicia.
All right, so my. I'm Lucia Bland from Business Solutions. We're a virtual administrative company. And you said you were looking for other sales channels. Just something that popped in mind, like Udemy. Have you ever heard of Udemy? You can upload your courses on there and they basically do the marketing and distribute them for you. People can come in there and purchase them. So you say, oh, right. Of course, that's coordinated with Udemy. You got Coursera. You got, there's probably a ton. But if you start with Udemy and maybe use AI to say, hey, give me a list of platforms like Udemy. Then you have a whole list of platforms that you can upload your contacts to and sell it.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning, Tanisha Mulligan. I happen to be an intellectual property attorney, so I can.
Yes.
A couple of things with your training, things you want to look at. You'll be looking at copyright because you created it and you want to make sure you protect it. There may be some trademark in there, your logos and things like that, but there's also a plan that you can put in place to make sure those things are protected. Because if you're going outside to third parties, you want to make sure that they understand that that is your intellectual property. And so the other trifecta of that contract, understanding, because most likely they're going to be submitting contracts to you to sign to be on their platform, but you want to make sure that within those contracts, it says that you are the owner of that intellectual property. So sometimes what they squeeze in and say, now that it's on our platform, we have access to it and we can distribute your content anywhere and we own it once you get it. So sometimes that happens a lot. So you want to be careful of that, but I'll, be happy to talk with you to put through like a plan to make sure what is, that what you're putting out there is protected. Even out in your marketing, there should be things on your marketing that says that this is your, intellectual property that you, because it's one thing to create the asset, it's another thing to own it. And most people don't own it. They think they do, but they don't. They don't own it until you actually apply to the USPTO to own the asset. It's not an asset until you own it. Okay, so you created it. Yes, you created it, but you don't own it.
You say what the USPTO is?
Oh, I'm sorry, the United States Patent and Trademark Office.
Thank you.
So yeah, I'd be happy to talk with you more about that, but just those are the things you want to look at, the copyright, trademarks, what top of my head in the contract.
Wow.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, that was great to meet that. I'm sure they'll have another suggestion.
Hi, Mike McClure, McClure Marketing. You said that they need to get so many credits each year.
6.
Yeah, I used to work with a manufacturing company that worked in the safety business, and architects needed to get so many credits every year.
Right.
And so what they did is they found an organization that was involved in certifying that these guys got their credits, and they offered webinars that gave them the credits they needed, but also an opportunity to sell their services. So that might be something you look into. If there's an organization that would make sense to do that with, and then you could create a few webinars that give them, I don't know if it gives them the credits they need, or at least gives them the idea to come and take your course to get the credits they need.
Actually, excellent. I didn't just realize I've taught continuing education credits I've been hired by architects in the past to teach that. I never even thought about doing that again. Thank you. That's
Yeah.
a great idea.
I used to create that.
Okay,
So I know it's worked really well now, so.
great, thank you.
Yeah.
And I might sound like a broken record to some of you out there, but I don't know if you've heard this. So, I used to work for Michigan Works and, twice a year, the state has something called Going Pro Talent Fund. So if you're thinking that these courses can be taken by employees of Rosa or other, or like bigger corporations, what you can do is go to mytalent.org. This is for anybody in the room. Go to mytalent.org and you apply to be a training provider. So it's MITC, My Talent Training Connect. So there's a fee associated. You have to like be in Michigan. You have to have a location. There are some stipulations, but once you are on that list, any employer can happen upon your training and take your training. So if there is a company with 47 people that are being approved for a grant to put people through a training, why not be that training? But you have to be on that list. So the grant happens twice a year. The grant does $2,000 per employee to put through training. So there are some steps, but that's a good amount of money. So if you get on the MITC, that's a really, really big way to be a approved training provider for anybody that's approved or applying for the grant, which is the entire state of Michigan. To be like, oh, I need training on this, and then they're gonna find you on there. And then find you. So, and then a backwards way is to go through, you can look up the Going Pro Talent Grant, look up companies that have already been awarded, and then see what kind of training that they might need, and then you maybe approach them that way.
Got it.
Because Michigan Works won't pitch you, but you maybe could find them that way.
Got it. Wow, thank you. That was helpful. Anybody else? Yeah, no, anything you say.
Yeah, so once I saw the sales opportunity, the other question, so one of the things I would go back to, is your business model and understanding that. So one of the things I also look at besides intellectual property is the strategic plan around that. And underneath that, we look at what your business model is. I just wanted to, and that is what, creating, delivering, and how are you capturing value? So all that would help with what your sales opportunity is, understanding what the strategic plan, what your business model will be. And you already identified that you want this to be passive. So that will streamline where you go with your business model and how you want this business to be organized. So just keep that in mind. How are you going to create it? What value you're going to bring? All this to keep it passive for you, the owner. So all of it should be towards your goal to make that happen. You're putting all these things in place. Yes, on t-shirt.
So I want to make sure I remember. Any other suggestions for me? I would appreciate it. Are you coming up to give me information? No? No? Okay, I just want to finish. I wanted to thank Melissa for spending hours with me.
That's very kind of you. And I would like to thank you about the 1 million cups and the organizers and give you your own personal time. Spread the word. Thank you very much for presenting and putting all this time into this. Thank you. That's very nice. Thanks, everybody. All right, thanks, everyone. That was really great. Even though it was succinct, she has a succinct issue. One of the things I want to mention is that Lynn didn't originally qualify to present, because to present here with the 1 million cups licensed framework that us as volunteers are putting together, you have to be 5 years or less in business. But probably you heard her right at the beginning say 35 plus years of experience. And when I was coaching her, what I loved was we got to the point where she talked about everything she's doing And then she had a legit question that comes from any startup business, like, how do I protect my intellectual property? I'm creating things, how do I protect that? And Tanisha, thank you for being here, like you always are, which I'm so grateful you do this for part of your business time, and to be here happens to be an intellectual property lawyer. So having the right people in the room when you are vulnerably asking what it is that you can use is perfect for us. So, and her True North Publishing that she launched actually is a newer business. She launched it in 2017, put her books out a little bit later, so she is a newer business. All right, so Lynn, if you come back up, I have 2 questions for you. Remember, I mentioned we have 2 questions we're gonna wrap up our speaker time with. So the first one is, what made you even want to apply to present at 1 Million Cups?
Well, I have my other business for so long, it's just on autopilot, frankly. And this business is really very different. I mean, writing the courses was like a no-brainer. Honestly, I've been teaching courses, I just had to expand them. But running this type of business is just something totally different than anything I've ever done.
Cool, all right, thank you. Okay, and then is there one piece of information that you heard today that you think you can take action on right away, like by the end of the week to help sustain or move your business forward? What is that?
Everything Tanisha said.
So, wait, say that. So repeat what she said. What did you hear that she said?
I didn't realize that I kind of had to copyright everything to be the owner. That was very interesting to me.
Thank you, Tanisha.
Thank you so much for your help. I can't even tell you how much I appreciate what you shared with me today, because again, out of my world, and it's, that's why I wanted to be here today, because I wanted to see what I don't know, because any new business owner doesn't always know what they don't know. And this allows you to figure out what you don't know.
Great, thank you. Thank you very much. So those kind of questions help our community in a couple of ways. Because we have a few minutes extra, I'm going to share with you why we're going to do these closing questions. The first one, why would you want to present, is to help all of you in the audience who are thinking, maybe I should present, or maybe I know somebody who should present. Because you never know what it is. It's going to trigger you to want to come and be in front of this audience, speak for 5 minutes about who you are, what you've launched out into the world that is not working. Right? So we want to help you as a community know that we want you to come up and present, share what's going on with you, and we want to try to help you. The second question, what's something that you picked up immediately today? It's always fascinating, right? Like, what did they actually hear? What would I have actually heard? What did you hear that sounded like the most important thing when Lynn was giving her presentation? That might have struck a chord with you. So now when we get to do our networking after the meeting, maybe you could connect with her, even though you don't want to come up on stage and talk on the mic. Now you have like an intro to help her, right? Makes sense? So we have 14 people, right, Daryl? 14 on our organizing committee.
13.
We have 13 on our organizing committee. I
We
know
need
that
one more to make it even.
we need one more to make it even. So I know that sounds like a lot of folks. But a majority of them, or I'd say half of them, are from Oakland Thrive, our community sponsor, which we're very grateful that they are helping us to continue to fulfill our pipeline. Our pipeline of presenters also comes from you. And then the volunteers that we have in our group, right? The volunteers also help make it work. When you volunteer to be an organizer, it's 5 hours or less. 1.5 hours are here. We have a once a week meeting on Fridays to kind of get aligned with what we're doing from 9:30 to 10:30 in the morning. And one of the things that we're really looking for right now is someone to help our marketing team. I know everybody needs marketing, but we have a pretty streamlined process. David Benjamin has been really helping us stay on top of that. He updates our LinkedIn. Saidi in the back, she does our Instagram. Tracy Williams, who is part of Thrive, does our Facebook. And I have been doing YouTube. And so I'm about done with that. So we're looking for one person that would be willing to put in a couple of hours a week to take our live YouTube that's been recorded, put it, make a thumbnail with Canva. I have a like a whole template, very easy and quick to do, and to upload that, to take the Zoom that Daryl has created, upload the same thumbnail, and make sure that every week we're getting this information up for the presenter. So you won't have to have it up until like Monday the following week, but the sooner the better. So if you're interested in doing that, please talk to me or to Daryl or to Drake, and we will get you into our ecosystem. And then you can add 1 million cups to your signature in your email or to whatever else you want to add us to as someone who's a volunteer supporter. One other thing, I know you're going to talk, but one other thing, I didn't mention in the beginning that 1 million cups is not just here. right? We're not just us and our group, and Kaufman Foundation is working with the state of Michigan. There are 125 communities around the United States, 24 of which are brand new communities that just were launched last fall. One of those is Ann Arbor. So Ann Arbor, Ginger Limon was coming here pretty often. She got really inspired to launch a 1 million cups community and started one in Ann Arbor. And she had the co-lead with her, Arash, who had gone to 1 million cups in Orlando, Florida, which I'm going to be there in a couple weeks. So I can't wait to see. And he said 50 or 60 people came every week. And so when he moved back to Michigan, he was like, where am I going to find this group? And he came here with Ginger and he's like, this is it. Let's make it in Ann Arbor. So I just want to know you have options to go see other places, present in other places. And when you're traveling, Colorado Springs, I hear, is a great one. There's a bunch of great ones in California and Southwest United States. There's one in Allentown, Pennsylvania. So just whenever you're traveling, why not? Look it up. See if there's a Wednesday morning as part of your trip where you can go pop into another community and then come back here and tell us what you learned, what you saw. And we think we're the best. So, and we're working on getting our regional directors to come visit us because we really think we're the best, but they're not coming yet. So we want you guys to help pass the word for us. All right, so that's enough for me. Remember, we're going to get together and do a group picture wherever Carmen tells us to get for the group picture. And I'm going to let Drake come up and do your community sponsor. Yeah, all right, thanks, Drake.
Okay. Thank you, Melissa, and thank you, Lynn, for that wonderful presentation. My name is Drake Pfeiffer. I am one of the 15 small business consultants that span out across the county. And as Melissa indicated, we like to consider ourselves the premier sponsor of this event, but it is an entirely community-driven event. And so I want everyone here to give yourselves a round of applause for making it so that we have to leave all this community to the other side with our tremendous growth and because of the crusade that this has become. And as many of you already know, I mean, how many newcomers are here today? Five. Okay, awesome. I see Nia. I didn't even see you in here, Nia. Hey, Nia. Well, welcome. This is a family-oriented environment. It's a community-oriented environment. You are certainly, as you can see, I mean, today is probably one of the most abbreviated days that we've had. Normally, there's a ton of feedback that is being provided, as you know, Lynn. But you had it, so we got it together, so we didn't have to give you as many today. But we'll certainly invite those who have not presented to present. And as an Oakland Thrive small business consultant, we are certainly looking for our clients. We're certainly looking for our clients, thank you, to come through this process because it helps us to be able to help you. We not only do we provide one-on-one consultations, but we also help connect you to the business consultants that are here. Tanisha is one of them. And if there are any others in the room, please raise your hand so we can identify. Yes, thank you. And it's great to have the consultants in the room here because they can get an insight to what it is your problems are. So thank you all for being here. Thank you, Lynn, for not only being a client, but a president as well. So, but with that being said, I just want to say again, we do have a ton of events that are coming up, a ton of trainings that are on the horizon. You can check our website, oaklandthrive.org. We have a particularly special annual training coming up this Saturday, right? Yes, before the game. And it is virtual, so you can check our website for that. It is on taxes. I don't know if anyone in here is bilingual who will be tax help, but Saidi, who many of you know, will be part of that. But I represent South Lyon, Novi, and New Hudson, and I'm looking for any of you who have businesses in those areas.
Go back.
Yes, thank you. Is that better? Because I can't hear myself. It's okay. If you have business in those areas, please, you're my folks. I'll be looking for you. But if there are any other SBCs in here, please raise your hand. I know Daryl. I saw Jamar, Saidi. Who else is here? From Oakland Thrive. Yeah. So if you are in Oakland County and you are in need of assistance with your business, please come see us. Tag me. Tag Jamar. Yes.
What language is
It is in Spanish speaking. So it is in Spanish, but if someone else has some special language needs, we definitely will try to make certain that we get those met. We do work with different language centers throughout the county, so, we certainly have, we try to have everybody covered. Any questions regarding Oakland Thrive that I may be able to answer for anyone? That's it.
Welcome Nia to the team.
Yes, I would like to welcome Nia. Yes, I saw Nia, now it's Nia, but Nia, welcome, and please come.
Good morning, everybody.
Nia just joined our clinic last week, and she will be in the midst. She is one of the new leaders on this in this organization, so we're certainly looking forward to what she brings to the mix. So thank you all, and I think unless there is something else